This is an International Harvester TD-25 Series C Bulldozer. It's made by First Gear, and it's in 1/25th scale. Now this is the version that has the ROPS and the Ripper on it. I think First Gear made quite a few different versions of this. The one that's out now has the cab on it. There's one with a sheep's foot roller and no ROPS, no nothing, no canopy. And there's a fire version, an army version, there's a forestry version, there's one with a root rake. So there's definitely a pretty good variety of these dozers out there, and they're all fantastic. They're all great quality. They all have the same, pretty much the same amount of detail to them. And like I said, they're just really nice. They look great. They really do. This one doesn't have very much plastic to it. It does have, you know, the finer detail parts, they are plastic, but for the most part, it's a whole lot of metal. This thing weighs a ton. But like I said, it looks really good. I mean, this thing is heavy. The tracks are really well done. The motor detail is great. The cab interior is just fantastic. It's almost all plastic, but it does look very good. Now the blade cylinders are, however, plastic, and they, if you push the blade all the way up, it'll hold itself up, but I don't really like to do that because I don't want to break the cylinder jackets because they are plastic. So unfortunately it really can't hold the blade up in the air. But to be honest, I am perfectly happy with it having the blade on the ground because I really don't care. The mesh on the back of the canopy is nice. It looks pretty good. Now the Ripper is really pretty cool. It looks great, but probably the neatest thing about it is the shanks are all adjustable. They all have pins, and First Gear sends 6 pins. You only need 3, but they send 6. I guess I figure if you lose some, you have extra. Anyway, the shanks are adjustable for depth. If you wanted to have one a little bit lower than the other two, you can do that. Or if you want to just be able to drop a little bit deeper, you can. And it's also neat too, because they come out all the way. You can eliminate the shanks completely, or you can pop them in upside down. Sometimes you see this where if you want to keep the weight on the Ripper bar, but you don't want to use you don't want to use 3 shanks, you want to make it a single shank, you can turn them upside down and just you'll always have them. You know, if the machine has to go somewhere else, it's always got all the Rippers. Yeah, sometimes you might be on a job where having 3 shanks is not terribly effective. I mean, you might have a situation where the dozer can't pull three shanks, so you can pull pull 1 shank out and do 2, or you can pull 2 and just do a single shank Ripper, and you can do it that way, and you might get better results, and that's why they do that. So it's pretty neat that First Gear replicated that fairly accurately. It's also really cool that they included extra pins. There's also there's also the operator's manual in the box, which is really cool. That's probably my favorite part of all these First Gear the international models, is they have the manual, the operator's manual in the box, and that's just really cool. It's just it's a miniature version, but it's got all the information in there. There's also a little teeny tiny shovel included. I'm not exactly sure where you're supposed to keep it, but it is in the box. And like I said, these First Gear models are just fantastic. They really are. All these internationals are great. And this is one of the earlier ones, so there's not a whole lot of plastic. I think the more and more of these that they make, the plastic to metal ratio keeps going up, which is a little bit disappointing, but this one is very good. It's definitely mostly metal. Anyway, that's about it. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask. If you'd like to see more of what we have, please subscribe to Maryland Construction Diecast. And thanks for watching.